on the Money Watch this morning, from food to gas, you are likely spending more for most of your everyday purchases. That's because last month, consumer prices rose at the fastest pace in more than a year. Food prices jumped 0.5% from April to May. Energy costs also surged, with gasoline prices rising 0.7% and electricity costs increasing 2.3%. Meanwhile, clothing, housing, and medical costs also rose 0.3%, and airline fares jumped 5.8%, the largest monthly increase since 1999. So with all these price jumps, how are you supposed to make ends meet? Certified Financial Planner Joe Bert is here to give us some advice. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Tom.
All right, so the Consumer Price Index, CPI,
right.
What exactly is that? Because we hear all about it when we're talking about this stuff.
It's a monthly calculation done by the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Okay.
And what they do is they calculate a basket of consumer goods and services. Everything from rent to gasoline, groceries, electricity, foods, all the things that you and I would buy as a consumer, including computers, all that stuff, and they calculate the increase from month to month.
So why should we be paying attention to this?
Because this is the #1 killer in retirement. People forget that the cost of living is going to continue to increase. It's insidious. It goes up. The problem with inflation, Tom, is it goes up gradually. You remember the story about you put a frog in the pot and it'll swim around?
Right.
But if you gradually turn up the heat, the frog doesn't know enough to jump out and it'll boil to death. That's what's happening with inflation. It goes up gradually. The price of gasoline goes up a penny or two. Gasoline 6 years ago was under $2 a gallon, $1.89. Today it's near $4 a gallon. Gradually over 6 years, and nobody's screaming about it because this happens gradually. That's the problem with inflation. It'll eat your lunch in retirement.
But you know what, speaking of lunch, the one thing people do really pay attention to, even when it's gradual, is food prices going up.
Yes.
Why is this happening right now?
Well, here I have to blame it on the EPA, frankly. It's the government, because they're restricting our use of energy. And then a lot of things run, you know, gasoline, cars, trucks, it's in fertilizer, farmers use it. We don't have enough refineries. And the water situation in California, tens of thousands of acres are lying fallow because we're protecting some little fish.
All right, so here's the good stuff. What do we do about it? Is there anything we can do about it?
What you have to do is be aware of it and understand as a consumer that you can't control the cost of living. It's going to continue to go up. So if you want to maintain your lifestyle, what you have to do is get your money to grow. The toughest cases that I work on are clients that have retired 6 or 7 years in retirement. They haven't done any planning, and the wheels are starting to come off because they're seeing their cost of living going up. You've got to plan for it. You've got to get your dollars to grow. You can't stick them in a savings account earning 1/4 of 1% today. That's the solution.
And meanwhile, most employers have stopped giving raises that correspond with cost of living.
Exactly, and that's the challenge that we all have.
All right, Joe Bert, thanks.
Tom, good to see you.
Lauren.
All right.